Reciprocation, what happens when you're a giver and you keep meeting takers.
RSVP with Lori, your soft life ambassador. Join me if you truly enjoy life. Please be sure to subscribe and click the notification bell.
Now, I don't care if it's a friendship, a working relationship, or a romantic relationship, reciprocation is key to a successful relationship. Being in one-sided relationships is draining. Now, I don't think whatever I do or feel for another person, they have to mimic that. However, there needs to be some type of giving on both ends, or the relationship just will not work. Y'all know that it takes effort on both sides for any relationship to work. Otherwise, it's draining, it's hurtful, and you'll end up with a lot of resentment for all the things you gave, give, and that other person takes. It can be something as simple as being a listening ear. And then when you call someone, they don't have time for you. It could be you're always picking up the tab for lunch or brunch or plays or concerts, and the other person never offers because they've just become entitled based on your relationship. It could be something like in a romantic relationship where you're always showing your love, your appreciation, and the other person just doesn't bother letting you know how much they care. Oftentimes, when a relationship is no reciprocity, um, you end up feeling used. I will talk briefly about when I provided a service, when I did graphic designs, and also I mentored small businesses and entrepreneurs. I gave courses, I gave advice, I gave tips. And when I say I gave a lot of that information for free. And I did have certain aspects where I acted as a social media manager, that there was a fee for that. And there was a fee for being branding your business. And that was everything from logo design, your color templates, your tagline, who your target audience should be, and how to gain that target audience, all those type of things. There was a time that there was a fee for that. I felt like many of my friends, as long as I was giving. Oh, hey, Lori, can you do a flyer for me real quick? Hey, Lori, can you do a ticket design for me real quick? Hey, Lori, can you come up with a theme for my event real quick? And I hate when people say that. Can you do this real quick? Maybe I can, but that doesn't mean I should. Like they add that real quick on there to say it like you're not really going out of your way. Yes, I am. Anytime I do a task for someone else, I'm going out of my way. So I hated that anyway. So when I started sending an invoice anytime a favor was asked of me, I noticed that the request would get less and less and less. They would still get those products and or services, but they weren't going through RSVP with Lori. So that tells you right there that people didn't take you serious. They took you for granted. And as long as it was free work, they were right by your side. As long as you invited them to all of the events that you were invited to, as long as you gave them a part of you, they would be right on your coattails. But the moment I started saying no, I felt a lot of friendships going away, just pulling away. And due to that, I stopped the service altogether. Hey, I'm no longer doing flyers. I'm no longer doing graphic design. I'm no longer doing social media management. I'm no longer doing that. That is where I had to get to in a point in my life, because I'm such a giver that I would just do it. I'll just go ahead and do it this one time. Oh, I'll just go ahead and do it this. Oh, I'll just go ahead and do it this one time. Or I will see their website or see their flyer, do it how I think it should look, send it to them. They would pretend to be thankful. So I just cut it off altogether. I told my husband, which we weren't married at the time, but he's always been in my corner, always been supportive. I told him, hey, you know what? I'm not doing it anymore. I cannot do it anymore because I'm being taken advantage of. Whether it's and I'm not playing victim, because honestly it was my own fault. I offered a lot of times, and I can't expect people to say, hey, Lori, here's $50, here's $150, here's $300. This is so valuable to me. It was really my own fault. I'm not playing victim by any means. I offered a lot of times when I saw stuff that, just wasn't pleasing, or it didn't really have a good theme going. I would offer a lot of times. Now you might ask, why do people take without giving back? The number one reason is they are selfish. Anyone that takes and doesn't give back, which is reciprocity, they are a selfish person. Again, I just want to point out that you don't have to give back in the exact same manner. If I'm offering graphic design, you could offer me lunch. You could offer me a hairstyle if you're a hairdresser. You could, it's like that barter system. Or if it's not business, if I'm a friend, if I take you to lunch one day, you could send me a card. Like, I'm not saying it has to be the exact same thing. Like every time I pay for lunch, you have to pay for lunch. No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying in some capacity, you need to be giving back. You can't expect without wanting to give at the same time. Like, I don't expect anything from people. I don't expect anyone to like this video. I don't expect anyone to share the video. I don't expect anyone to comment on the video. I'm appreciative, very appreciative to anyone that does, but it's not expected. It's not, I don't feel entitled that every person I know, they better like, share, and comment on every single thing I post. I don't expect it in the least bit. Even if I like, share, and comment every single one of their videos, I honestly don't expect it. I appreciate it if it happens, but I don't expect it. However, don't use me. Don't use me and just disregard me. That's the only thing I have a problem with. One saying that my mom always said is that, because I know I am a very sensitive person, so I really take heed to that. But one thing my mom used to always tell me is, Lori, it's really not that people are against you; they're just for themselves. So I really try my best not to take things personal. When I see my friends sharing 50 videos with me and they haven't shared any of my videos, I don't take it personal, because for whatever reason, they just might not be thinking about, let me share Lori's video. They might not think my video is interesting, whatever it may be. But yes, always keep that in mind. Take nothing personal. Um, it's not so much that people are against you, they're just for themselves. So selfish people are not givers at all. Selfish people are not givers. The second reason I think people may not reciprocate, they may be used to you being the strong one. So they think, oh well, she really doesn't need any help. She got this. She could knock this out, no doubt. I know she got it. No matter what ailment you tell them you have, no matter what financial trouble you tell them you have, they figure she always has a resolve. And that could be a bad thing as well. Like, I don't like when people say, well, check on your strong friend, or people say, oh, nobody checks on me because I'm always the strong friend. Stop being the strong friend. I implore you to stop being. I want to retire every single strong Black woman that there is. I am your soft life ambassador. I take that job serious. And I really recommend every Black woman give up being a strong Black woman. We all need help. We all need friends. We all need some type of provisions out there to maintain a safe mental space, safe health, physical health. We have to stop trying to be the strong Black woman, because it is not doing us any good. So I retired from being a strong Black woman at least 8 years ago, if not 10. At least 8 years ago. My husband will tell you I do not operate in that capacity, though I used to. I would be, okay, nothing hurt me. Can't nobody hurt me. I could take it on the chin. I don't want to take it on the chin. I don't want to be destroyed. I don't want toxic relationships. I don't want toxic friendships. I don't want toxic work relationships. I don't want a toxic marriage. I don't want a toxic relationship with my children. I want to be, and I am, loving, caring, genuine. It's just not anything that I would recommend, because it's not going to help your life. You're going to be stressed out, you're going to be combative, you're going to be bitter, and in the end, you're going to end up alone. And I'm not talking about a man. I'm talking about alone, whereas nobody even wants to reach out to you because you're always so strong. You got to cuss everybody out. You want to smack everybody. Everybody's an enemy of yours. The world is against you. You're going to end up alone. You're going to end up by yourself. Selfish people often end up on their own, because if people are constantly reaching out, or people are constantly trying to hold your hand and you snatching it away, Nobody wants to be bothered with that. Number three, they lack self awareness. A lot of people are not aware. And if they surround themselves with yes men, they just aren't aware that they lack in that capacity. They just take, and everybody around them constantly doesn't tell them the truth. They don't tell them, hey, Lori, I think that was very selfish of you not to congratulate me on that award I won last month. Or, hey, Lori, I usually pay for lunch. You can at least offer the tip. Nobody in their life, in their circle, tells them that they are being selfish, that they are being callous, that they just aren't giving. They aren't giving back what's being given to them. A lot of times that's what I see, that they just are not self-aware. They just in their own world, operating in their own manner, and nothing else matters. Lastly, this is the hardest to accept. They just don't value you the way you value them. It's a lot of one-sided relationships where when you aren't respected is because the person doesn't value you. I don't care about somebody telling me, I love you, girl. Okay, girl, I love you. Do you value me? Do you respect me? Because if a person doesn't value you, it's very easy for them to disrespect you. When you value someone in your life, you're not going to do anything. You're not going to do anything to cause harm in that relationship where there's a chance that that relationship would end. Anything. And I'm not talking about having a tiff with someone or something like that. I'm saying doing things that you know would hurt that person, would damage that person, talking behind their back, or causing them harm, or not speaking up for them maybe. Those things are very damaging, and you take that risk because you don't value the relationship. People cheat because they don't value the relationship. It's just the bottom line. It don't have nothing to do with like Martell trying to say Mel didn't give them enough, so that's why he did it. No, you didn't value that relationship until you had it no more, and that's why you did what you did. You would not sacrifice even a chance that that relationship would end unless you value it. Now, being in a one-sided relationship isn't just unfair, it's really damaging on you. And I have been in a lot of one-sided relationships. Again, I'm no victim. I'm just naturally a giver. I'm just naturally a cheerleader for everybody that I care about. I really am. I'm just a natural born cheerleader. Like, I'm like, yes, girl, you can do this. And if I see any kind of way that I can help, I'm going to do that. Just that simple. And I'm still like that. I wouldn't let any bad experience or negative experience change that about me. It can lead to burnout if you always the one that's making the plans, checking in, being that shoulder to cry on. It really can lead to burnout. And I'm happy that I do have people in my life now that honestly check on me, genuinely check on me, chit chat, whether it be about social media, gossip. Hey, girl, how's your health? How are you mentally? I'm very happy that I do have that in my life currently. With my husband down, my husband, my children, and the people that I call friends right now, they genuinely check on me. Like, they don't ask me for anything. They ain't trying to borrow money. They ain't asking for graphic design. They're not asking for any tips, advice, nothing. They just genuinely are like, Lori, how are you? And that is very refreshing for me, for real. It's very refreshing at the age of 52 that I have built those friendships. I have built that marriage. I do have that relationship with my children. I'm excited about that. And again, it leads to resentment, and resentment is very toxic. Like, you can be a giver, you could be the nicest person in the world, but when you have that built up resentment inside of your soul, it becomes very toxic because everything you do, you're gonna feel some type of angst towards it. You're gonna feel like, I don't really want to be doing this. And if you don't really want to be doing it, you shouldn't be doing it. It shouldn't be a chore to do anything for your family, friends, husband, wife. It shouldn't be a chore. It should be something you enjoy. It should be something you look forward to, and you won't have that built up resentment because that's toxic as well. Every person that's toxic isn't just doing mental abuse or physical abuse, smacking you upside your head and cussing you out. You can be toxic and be a giver. Because if you're doing it and you have resentment in your mind while you're doing it, and you got an attitude while you're doing it, and your friend always asking you to do her hair, and you're not a hairstylist, but you know how to braid hair, you don't want to do it because you feel like she don't appreciate it, and she don't really call you outside of that. There's resentment there. And as you're braiding, you thinking, oh, I don't feel like doing this hair. That is toxic as well. So keep that in mind. So, what do you need to do to prevent a one-sided relationship? You got to create boundaries, guys. You have got to create boundaries, and you cannot allow anyone to cross those boundaries, no matter how much you care about them, no matter how much you love them, because once they cross that boundary, it's quite difficult to get them back over to the other side. It's quite difficult. In the back of your mind, you're never going to trust them again. If you tell a person your boundary and they still cross it, you're not going to be able to trust them. Because if I tell you it real if I okay let me I'm trying to think of an example. If I tell you I'm allergic to mushrooms, and then I come over your house, you cooking, and I'm like, did you put mushrooms on this pizza? And you're like, yeah, girl, but I only put a little. It ain't gonna bother you. It ain't gonna really bother you. That's a boundary that you just crossed. Not only did you disrespect me, now you put my life in harm's way. So people, I mean, that's a little exaggerated because I know people do honor other people's allergies, but that's just to show you guys what I mean. If I'm saying, hey, I don't like when you call me the B word, which I know some women talk like that. I'm one of those women. But if my friend or somebody I cares about say, hey, Lori, I know you don't mean anything by it, or if they got an attitude, it doesn't matter. If they tell me, I don't want you calling me that, and the next day I call them that, and I say, oh, girl, my bad. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to call you that. And then the next month I call them that again. I'm not respecting their boundaries. If you constantly have to tell somebody how to respect you, they don't respect you. Especially if it's the same thing over and over. I shouldn't have to tell you more than once what I don't like in our friendship. Now, on the opposite end, if you're trying to change me and you're saying, I don't like this about you, Lori, and I'm like, oh, okay, I'll pay attention to that. I won't do that. And then tomorrow you say, I don't like you wearing green sweaters, Lori. I wish you would stop. I'm like, oh, okay. Well, when I see you, I won't wear my green sweater. And then next Thursday you say, Lori, I don't like red hair. I don't like wigs. I like women being natural. You need to stop wearing those wigs. Now, at that point, you just trying to change me. That's not a boundary. You're trying to change who I am as a person. And at the dear young age of 52, I'm not obliged to do so. And I'm not going to do so. I'm not rude. I'm not evil. I don't have any animosity towards people that I love. So I'm not changing who I am as a person at all. We just probably don't need that friendship. If you constantly have to tell me I don't like A B C D E F G about you, you don't like me. Because some things are a person's character. So you can't change it. Like I can say, "Hey, I don't like when you come over my house without knocking." That's a boundary. But I can't say I don't like when you have yellow curtains up in your house in the kitchen. That's not a boundary. You trying to tell me what I'm trying to tell the person what to do. So pay attention to what a boundary. A boundary is something that's affecting me. Now I can stop that if it's affecting me, but also being offended is a choice. We got to remember that being offended is a choice. So if somebody's on their podcast and they say, I can't stand 52-year-old women that still wear red wigs, it's a choice for me to be offended. I chose to wear a red wig and I happen to be 52. I don't have to choose to be offended by what they said because it's just someone's opinion and I'm okay with my decision. Most of the time people get offended because they are questioning their decision. So I just want to say that about that. Okay, so you need to recognize patterns. You need to pay attention. Hey, does this person offer me anything in my life? Communicate. If you care about that person, communicate. Hey, it will really be helpful to me if you blank, 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 blank. Sometimes I feel like you don't value me. If the person gets offended and they want to walk away, it's okay because that's better than you sitting with resentment. If you try to offer a conversation, now don't be combative, but you can easily say, hey, I really don't feel like this friendship is, I really feel like this friendship is a little one sided. I feel like anytime I call you, you're busy, you're always busy, and I'm not able to talk to you about things I want to vent about, but I'm here for you. Whatever it is, communicate your needs. This was my number one thing. I had to stop overextending myself, stop offering the help. And I'm really still working on that, y'all. Stop offering the help. Unless someone asks me, I'm going to stop offering help. Because I offer, and then, they'll somebody will come back and say, the people that are selfish, they will come back and say, well, I didn't ask for your help, no way. I'm like, oh, wow, okay. So that's one thing I really have to work on, to stop overextending myself to other people. If they don't ask, they don't need my help. I gotta stop thinking I'm Captain Save 'em, because I'm not. I don't need to offer help to everybody, and nobody, everybody doesn't need my help. So for some reason, I find like I excuse me. I think that I'm only valuable if a person needs me. That's how I feel in a lot of friendships. Like, oh, well, if they don't need me, if I don't show them a need, like how valuable I am, they're not going to want to be my friend. So I need to stop doing that. Even today, I do it a little bit, like offer help. Somebody asks me something, they might just be chit chatting with me. Then I'm researching something for the next 2 hours to try to find a resolve for them. So I need to stop doing that unless somebody specifically asks me for my help. So yeah, at the end of the day, relationships should feel good. That is friendships, work relationships, romantic relationships. Relationships should feel good. They shouldn't hurt. You shouldn't be arguing with a friend every other day. I don't think relationships should be that hard. And if they are, I'm just gonna remove myself. I'm not gonna lie. I will just remove myself because I don't want to work that hard on a friendship at all. I just do not. It should be easy going. We ain't got no bills together. We ain't got no kids together. So there's nothing that should be, build up that much animosity that we're arguing, fussing, or fighting. It's just not necessary. So take care of yourself, set boundaries, and remember, real love, real friendships, real connections, they are mutual. If this message resonated with you, drop a comment. Let's talk about it down below. Please be sure to like, hit that thumbs up button, share, and click the notification bell so you'll know when I upload new videos. Now, if you have not subscribed, why not? Please consider subscribing if you haven't. I greatly appreciate it. Write the word reciprocity in the comment section if you watched until the end. And as always, these are my opinions, not the law.